Hey, hey, hey. All right, today you're going to tell me what you're into, right? What your needs are, what you want to move towards in your life, and I'm going to tell you where in the world I think you should move. Okay? That's all we're going to do today. You're going to tell me what you're looking for in a new destination, and I'm going to tell you what I think you would like, what place that I think that you would like. This is just me talking. Okay, you're gonna have to do a lot of research on your own. Okay, this is just me going off the top. If you leave out something important, that's your fault. Okay, the important things you need to tell me: cost of living. You need to tell me weather a little bit, right? I'm not going to tell you a cold weather destination anyway, so whatever. You need to tell me if you need to work from that place, or are you in a position where you don't need to work? Maybe you're taking a career break or a sabbatical and you're not planning to work, right? Like, do you need good internet? You're going to tell me, like, do you need to be able to bop around to other places from this place? Or are you looking to go someplace and sit down for a little bit? I don't know that it really matters if you're single or a family because places are family friendly everywhere you want to go. There's kids already living there. So I don't know if that's super important. If you want to house sit because your budget. Did we talk about this? I said cost of living. What I didn't mean cost of living. I meant your budget. You need to tell me your actual monthly budget. Okay? And we'll come up with some places. Your budget can be small if you're okay with house sitting. So don't be embarrassed about a small budget because I have traveled on a very small budget in my day. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Toya. Good morning, Simi. Good morning, Min. Good morning, Celeste. I'm stuck. Okay. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Erica. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Comfort. Good morning, Greta. All the people whose names in A, y'all are here. Good morning, Chloe. Good morning, Winnie. Good morning, Kara. Good morning, Dr. Beverly. Good morning, Janetta. Good morning, Fran. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, PW. Good morning, Tyra. Good morning, Vermella. All right. Good morning, Nirel. All right, we did it. Okay. Good morning. Okay. So if you want to drop some stuff in here, remember that what I'm going to tell you is a fraction of the information that you need to know if a place is the right fit for you. But it's a start. Also, know that some of these women in the chat are going to have way more information than I have. So make sure that you have the chat up, right? Make sure that you're watching the video with the chat so that you can see what's happening. Also, please make sure that you contribute to the chat, right? Because you know something I don't know. So contribute, please. Even if you don't have a question, even if you're 100% nailed down on a location, or if you're not interested, right? Still contribute, please. This is a group assignment. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Let's get started. Hello, C. Slayton. Oh, but first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a year round house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School. I'm the co creator of ExodUS Summit. I help Black women embrace ease by house sitting, by moving abroad, by working as a digital nomad, by bopping around. If that sounds good to you, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Ring that notification bell so that you will be notified when I post a new video or when I go live. Welcome. All right, please, friends, take a second and hit the like button on this video if you don't mind. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be helpful. And when you hit the like button and when you leave comments in the chat or in the comment section, it tells YouTube algorithm that it's a good one and it shows it to other people who might not have seen it otherwise. So thank you for that. All right, let's get started. C. Slayton, I'm into clean air, not having to chug wastewater from a store. Chug water from a store. I'm like, who would chug wastewater? I'm into clean air, not having to chug water from a store to brush my teeth. No rising fascism, extremism, kid friendly. All right, so I don't know your cost of living. I'm going to give you a couple of examples, okay? So, no rising fascism or extremism is important. We don't know sometimes what's happening in a place for a while when we're not plugged into a place. Um, So a place that would have been a wonderful option for people a couple of years ago, and a place that I'm kicking myself for not getting to a couple of years ago, is Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka is having an uprising of the people based on having an issue with the current government, right? So, and we don't always know what's happening in places until we plug into people who actually live there. So anyway, I'm going to try this video to not just tell all of you to move to Costa Rica, but seriously, see Slate in Costa Rica, okay? Or the Caribbean. I don't know your budget. Most places in the Caribbean are probably going to have be a little more expensive than the places in the Caribbean that women are moving to, like Barbados, like Grenada, like Jamaica. I don't know. I think Jamaica, you can probably live comfortably in Jamaica on less than you can live in Costa Rica. Anyway, Costa Rica or the Caribbean. The Caribbean islands are leading the way in terms of their government by women, right? Having women in the government is a wonderful like predictor of how well things are going to go. Except for like the Margaret Thatchers. There are women who are like wolves in women's clothing. But the governments of the Caribbean are doing a wonderful job of being the people of the Caribbean are doing a wonderful job of electing women into government, into power, who are bringing out the vision that they have for that place. Okay. So a lot of places in the Caribbean, I did a video with some women who live in the Caribbean, and Barbados sounds wonderful if you want if you're okay with that expense, that cost of living. Grenada also sounded wonderful. Like, these are places where you're getting good, clean water. When I was in Curacao, right, they brag about the water being the best in the region. In a region of good water, Curacao has the best water in the region. All right, so Costa Rica, the Caribbean, we're going to go bop over also to Europe. I would say, so France is having a problem. The people of France are going through some things. So rising extremism probably takes France off of the list. Am I right? Am I wrong? Somebody know this? But the Netherlands and the Scandinavian countries, I think you're still safe. Okay, so this is why cost of living is important, because I've given you 3 regions with 3 extreme cost of living differences. Costa Rica is probably the least expensive, even though Costa Rica is not a cheap place. For Central America, it's expensive, but it's not expensive for Europe, right, compared to Western Europe. All right. All right, what else? What else? Anyone else leave there? Anybody else ready to talk about ask about what they want? Hey, Nirel, with the cost of living rising, I'm starting to feel like my budget isn't going to be enough when it's time to exit. Cost of living is rising everywhere, yes. If you have a way to make, if your exit is a plan to live on money that you already have and you don't plan to make more money, right, then I can see how this would be a struggle, right? But if your plan to exit includes you working somehow, you can just make more money, right? Like, if your exit strategy is to live on income that you already have, live on money that you already have and not make more income, yes, I understand this concern. If your strategy is to work to make money, you can make more money. I think. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think if you're going to be working anyway and you need to make more money, you need to make more money. I think the days of being loyal to an employer are long gone. So we already know about negotiating higher, just leave a job, go to a job with a higher income, right? We already know about taking your skills off of the job market and onto the work for yourself market, the consultant world or the freelance world. So the solution, if the solution is that you're going to need to make money anyway, then make more money, right? And then cut your costs. Cut your costs. If you sign a 1-year lease and then you spend the 1 year in your apartment and then you need to take 2 months where you house it back to back so you don't pay for accommodation, then you do that. that has been my way. When I took a year to travel and I started to go over budget, I got work exchanges where I didn't have to pay for food or accommodation. I cannot stop sweating. It's not even that hot here today. So if you can make money from any location in the world, then you can make more money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, right now, if you're talking about you're going on Social Security only or you're going on pension only and it literally is a fixed income, then that's one thing. But if you're talking about, I'm going to be doing this and this to support myself, you can make more. When things start to cost more, you can make more. I don't know that there's a place you can go where you can be safe or buffered from the rising cost of living, from rising inflation. So it's just something that we're going to have to deal with, right? I don't think that there's a place where I can be like, well, just go here and you won't have to deal with inflation. There's no place. That place does not exist. If it does, somebody tell me, okay? Somebody tell me. All right. What noise? Y'all hear noise? What's the noise? What's it sound like? Clicking noise? Well, you can hear the pop-up. Maybe you're just hearing the pop-up. I'm on a third party called Ecamm Live, and every time someone leaves a comment, I hear it. So maybe you're hearing that too. It's just like every comment in the chat. If it's worse than that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't hear anything. But that's the chat. Yeah, that's every week. That's not new. Every week you hear that noise. It's just every time someone leaves a comment in the chat. I don't know how to turn it off without muting myself as well. All right. Flash Gordonia. All right. Needs cool weather, beach. Okay. No reptiles. Fresh food, liberal, socialist, progressive, good medical, work from home. This is Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Right. Ireland probably. Ireland is funny. The people are liberal, but the government is not. Right? So Ireland is funny. Not the UK. UK, you can get cool weather and beaches in the UK, but they're not liberal. They're not socialist. Anywhere you're going to get almost anywhere you're going to get good medical. Any place with a major city, with people with money, you're going to be able to get access to good medical care. It's just the United States where you don't have access to good medical care. So, yeah, this is Scandinavia. This is, right, if you want cool weather and beaches, you're going to go north or you're going to go very far south, no, because even south, what is south of Brazil? Even like those beaches in, no, that's not cool weather. It's just cool for a little while. Yeah, Scandinavia. All right. Y'all, this is every week. I don't know. Unless they change something, this is every week. It's nothing new. I've used Ecamm Live for every live stream I've done for the past year and a half. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. Unless it's new, unless they increase the volume on it. It's every week. It's been here. It's been here. As long as I've done live streams, you've heard that sound. Okay. Yes, the clicking noise is you. I don't know what to tell y'all. All right, Nicole Lockstar Bennett. Let me drink some water. I'm really irritated that I can't stop sweating. It's a nice cool morning and I have the fan on and all of that, but I just can't stop. It's a heat flash, but it's like a prolonged. Normally if I have a heat flash, it's just there. This is just sweating. Like normally a heat flash would be gone by now. This is just me sweating. Nicole, I'm in search of peace, nice people, new friends, warm weather, good Wi-Fi, okay, good school system, black hairstylist. I would love to spend under $1,500 total per month. Okay, $1,500 per month is so under $1,000 for rent, then $800 or so for accommodation. All right, so then we're talking. Okay, so good school system. I can't speak for. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a couple places I like in Mexico that I think you can still get in for under $800 a month, but I don't know about the good school system. I don't know about that. So like a Guanajuato or Leon, Mexico, you're gonna get good Wi-Fi. You're gonna get nice people. You're gonna have, you can learn Spanish if you don't already know Spanish. They're not they. These are places where English is not widely spoken. Guanajuato, Leon, Morelia, which is our secret. Don't tell anybody about Morelia. I think it's beautiful and lovely and very Mexican and not very white yet. White people haven't figured it out yet. Morelia is not good Wi-Fi. Okay. I'm having two conversations at one time. All right, good Wi-Fi. Guanajuato or Leon, Mexico, probably. Um, Black hairstylist. No, no to a black hairstylist there. If you want a black hairstylist, you're going to need to go to a place that either already has black, like naturally has black people, like a Lisbon, Portugal, right? They're black Portuguese people. But you're not going to get in, I don't think $1,500 a month is going to do it in Lisbon. Or you're going to need, okay, so let's say maybe Johannesburg may still be $1,500 a month friendly. Johannesburg, South Africa, right? You're going to get black hairstylists. You're going to get nice people. I don't know about good school systems. I don't know. You may need to put your kid in private school in some of these places. In Mexico, you probably would put them in private school or school them online, do virtual schooling or something. Yeah, if black hairstylist is the priority, I would take that off your list. Seriously. I would take that off your list. If you land in a place without a black hairstylist, like how many times a year do you need to get your hair done? Can you just fly to a black hairstylist? Seriously. Like seriously. If you can fly to a place, if you live in a part of Mexico that doesn't have a black hairstylist, but you can get to Guadalajara or Mexico City, I think, or Playa del Carmen, would you be okay with that? $1,500 total. I'm assuming, since you're talking about school stuff, I'm assuming 2 bedrooms or more for $800 per month. Yeah, okay, Guanajuato. So I'm back to Guanajuato and Leon in Mexico are good choices. Maybe Querétaro for $800 a month rent, maybe. In Central America, Panama. I don't know about Panama's pricing. But you're going to make friends and meet nice people and find black hairstylists. Johannesburg may still be in that price range. You may still be able to find Johannesburg for that. I'm going to look in the chat and see if anybody has mentioned Johannesburg. I didn't say I wasn't in menopause. Well, I still have a 20, I'm still on a 27, not even 27, like a 24-day menstrual cycle. So I'm not in menopause. But I never said I wasn't having, I have had hot flashes, but they usually come and go. And that was just all morning. I've been sweating all morning. I got out of the shower at 8:30. I've been sweating since 8:30. Yeah. I already know. I know how old I am. I feel irritable though today, so maybe I am. I do feel a little snippy, right? First the chat, like, what's the noise thing? I'm like, y'all know what that noise is. It's here every week. Why are y'all asking me about this noise? I should have had some coffee or gone back to bed. Let me get myself together. Let me get myself together. All right. Yes, Adelia's right. The cheaper places will probably not have good public schools, but remember that public school is not the only way to school your child. Your school system where you live right now may very well have an online, or your state Your state may very well have an online K through 12. Delaware has an online K through 12, Texas, Colorado, right. So your state may have an online K through 12. If you don't want to be that rigid, right? If you don't want to stick your kid basically in front of a laptop all the time, there are homeschooling and world schooling options. Also, where you go, they're probably going to have international schools. So there are other options besides the public school system. If the public school system being good is a must, you're probably going to need to go to if the public of a good public school system and a low cost of living are a must. Well, you didn't say low cost of living though. Am I making that up? You didn't say that. Okay, so good public school system in general, Europe, right? If you need good public schools, go to Europe. I think I've heard that Costa Rica has good public schools. They have they have a high ranking on the education meter. So Costa Rica might also be a choice, but I don't know. I've never talked to anybody about that. Marina, who is the global black girl, she has kids and they live in Costa Rica, but I don't know what they do for schooling. A lot of people are not putting their kids in school where they go, right? They're doing some sort of hybrid thing. She is a hairstylist. Okay. So then are you saying you need customers? Ah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And black hairstylist friendly. Oh, thank you for this. Okay. Clear me up. Straighten me up. Oh, anywhere. Nicole, anywhere, right? Anybody here live in a place where y'all need some black hairstylists, right? Like seriously. Thank you. Thank you everybody for clearing this up. Okay, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Okay. Thank you. Anywhere that black women have moved to, there is a shortage of black hairstylists, right? Mexico City, we're going to just move Mexico City to the beginning because there you will have good people and some peace. You'll have new friends, good Wi-Fi, right? Mexico City, $1,500 a month may not be it. That may not be. You may not be comfortable in Mexico City on $1,500 a month, but if you're a black hairstylist in Mexico City, I think you could bump your budget up. Okay, if you if you're if you're able to work under the table, this is another thing, right? So you're talking about working under the table and being, stealth about things. I don't think you need to stick to a $1,500 a month budget in Mexico City if you're a black hairstylist. Okay. Now, thank you, friends, for getting me straight. I told y'all I'm not I'm not at my best today. Okay. Yeah. Any place that there are black women moving to, there is a need for black hairstylists. So that's that on that. But you do need to know if you're on a tourist visa, you're not eligible to work in probably any country, right? You're not eligible to earn money. And so if you need a visa that also allows you to work in that country, that's going to change your search, right? If you're looking to get a work visa in a country, a visa that permits you to work in another country, that's going to change your search. And that would probably have to be the very first objective. First, find out where is it possible to get a visa that will also allow me to work in that country or earn money in that country. It's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be hard because just like in the US, other countries don't want foreigners coming in and making money that a local person could have made, right? Doing jobs that a local person could have made. But not impossible. Rashida did a video. They gave her, when they renewed her visa in Mexico, they also gave her the ability to work, right? They gave her a work permit as well. Accident, I guess, whatever. She talked about that in her video. But yes, if you're talking about going to a place and getting and working there, like earning money out in the open, then the search for a place where you can get a work permit, permission to work and earn money needs to be at the top of your list. Okay, thank you, friends, for clearing that up. Okay, I didn't get it. I was like, what? Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, okay. And then Nicole says, I love the idea of a private school or tutor. I'll check these places. You're welcome. Okay. Yes, any place, have we talked about this in the chat? Anybody raising their hand to recommend their particular city in need of a black hairstylist? Let's see. Okay. Adelia says, even though Mexico City is a little more, is probably out of the $1,500 range, you could check out Puebla or Cuernavaca and then come into Mexico City for clients. Thank you, Adelia. Okay. I need to start from the beginning. I need to start from the beginning. But also, y'all got me together, so thank you for that. Thank you very much. All right, so Lala, Southeast Asia is also pretty low cost. Yes, I really enjoyed my time in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia, to move there, you would have to be, well, Southeast Asia, first of all, is a little more tricky to move to than Central America, right? Costa Rica, Panama, uh, what is the others? Where else is in Central America? Y'all know. Ecuador is not Central America, it's South America. But Colombia, those countries have, they have a more welcoming pathway to Americans, right? There is a way to get residency for Americans that is a little easier than places in Southeast Asia who are not as welcoming. But Southeast Asia, yes, definitely low cost. Southeast Asia also did a lot of lockdown and restriction during COVID, and now, we're still during COVID, but so I don't know if they're open, right? Like, I don't know if they're open. The problem, I think, with Southeast Asia is most of us, I think, would want to move to a place where you can learn the language, where you can ingrain yourself in the community. Is that the right word? Where you can be a part of the community, where you can actually live there and not just like, I have an apartment here and whatever, but like, I live here and this is my new home. And those languages, child, they hard, except for Indonesia and Malaysia, right? Indonesia and Malaysia use this same alphabet, and the pronunciation, words sound like they look. Thailand, child, how do you learn? You may learn to speak Thai, but how do you learn to read Thai? I don't know. Vietnam, which is a place I love, 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 love. I would never ever be able to communicate in Vietnamese. My mom and I went to the place and got our feet and nails done a couple weeks ago, and the ladies were Vietnamese and they were talking. My mom was like, "Do you understand them?" I was like, "Girl, no." I even told them. I was like, "Yeah, I stayed in Thailand for 2 months. I could not learn how to say hi. There's no overall word for hello in Thai. I mean, in Vietnam, they were Vietnamese. No overall word for hello in Vietnamese, right? First, it depends on if you're male or female. Then it depends on if the person you're speaking to is male or female. And then, are you older than them or younger than them? Are you a whole generation older than them? Are you 2 generations older than them? Are you, right? So no, I would never feel at home in Vietnam because I would never be able to communicate in Vietnam. I don't think. So that's why I think you're not going to hear a lot about Southeast Asia from me, because I've kind of just decided it's not for me for long term, but that doesn't mean that I'm right for you. Okay? And I want to say one more time, if you do want to move to Southeast Asia, to a place where you can communicate, Indonesia and Malaysia are their languages, Bahasa Malaysia, Bahasa Indonesia. They're very similar. They are the easiest for English speakers to learn. Okay? And Malaysia has fast and reliable and cheap internet. When I was there in 2015, right? That was their reputation. Digital nomads love Malaysia because of that. Fast, cheap, reliable internet, fast food, low cost of living, and a place where you can communicate. Okay. Winnie B. Budget $2,500 per month. Good budget. Good internet. Good. Easy to bop around. This is important, okay? Because some places, once you get there, you can't really. South Africa, right? Johannesburg, wonderful. But flying around Africa is not like flying around Asia or Europe, right? It's expensive. Getting from one place to another from South Africa is different from getting one place to another from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, right? Or from London or from Paris, right? Any place in Europe, you can get any place else for probably $100. Right? South Africa, duh, right? So this is why it's important to know what things you do and don't want. And remember that this is going to change. All right, so good internet, easy to bop around, walkable, good public transportation, adult-oriented, woman-friendly, no extreme or little cold weather museums. Okay. I think if we're talking about a good place to bop around and walkable and good internet, so we're talking about a city, right? A good place to get from one place to the other. We're talking about a city, probably not a beach town, right? And in some places, also, when you need good internet, you need to be in a city and not a beach town. In some places, it doesn't matter. But in some countries, we're talking about a city. All right. So Lisbon, number one. So the Portuguese are not super happy with the influx of nomads into their life, but it's still a wonderful place. Portugal, not only Lisbon. I've been to Lisbon. I've been to Coimbra in the middle. I've been to Porto, and I've been to some small towns up and down. Portugal is just a place where they understand public transportation. Now, walkability is a thing because it's very hilly. Everything in Portugal is uphill. I don't care where you're going. I don't care. I don't care if you walked uphill to get there. You also have to walk uphill to get home. So walkable means something different in Portugal, right? But they really are into the idea of connecting people and places. There's no place, I don't know. You can be in a small town in Lisbon, in Portugal, and have access to the cities very easily. I've ridden the trains, and trains and trolleys and trams. So I would say Portugal is a good start. Um, and Porto and Lisbon are both major cities. And so you're going to be able to get flights to other places. Lisbon is probably easier than Porto to get flights to other places. Women friendly also. It's not a place where you're going to feel like you're mistreated as a woman. You know what I mean? It's not like Morocco, right? Where you're like, where everyone says, well, it's easier if you have a man with you, right? So we're going to take those places off the list, the Moroccos and those places. Um, no extreme weather, right? So Lisbon gets cool but not cold. That's good. Lots of museums. Okay, so I'm sending you to my fave. I'm sending you to Lisbon. Okay, good internet, $2,500 a month, easy to bop around, walkable, good transportation, adult oriented, women friendly, no extreme weather, museums, clubs. Yeah, this is Portugal. Okay, this also could be a lot. So a lot of Europe is going to have good transportation, but $2,500 a month. There are parts of France where you can be there for $2,500 a month. Um, the Bordeaux's and but not too many. There are parts of France where you can be there for $2,500 a month. Okay, where else? So then, of course, this is Mexico City. If you need Mexico, Mexico City, I think when you say good weather, you may mean the sun. If you need to see the sun, you may not want Mexico City. This is San Jose, Costa Rica, except for the good internet. So in San Jose, good internet is neighborhood by neighborhood, right? San Jose is just installing fiber optics. Is it called fiber optics? Good internet, right? San Jose, Costa Rica is just installing that. It's pretty high altitude, so you're not getting extreme heat in San Jose like you are over at the beaches. So I've sent you to my two faves: San Jose, Costa Rica, Lisbon, Portugal. $2,500 per month. With a good life, like a good like things to do. Because London is not a $2,500 a month place, I don't think. Um, Okay, so Johannesburg has better internet than it did when I got there. So in all of my videos where I bashed Johannesburg's internet, they have had a come up. Okay, so Johannesburg's internet is better, and you can have a good life. There are black women, there are American, and there are foreign black women living very well in Johannesburg. Johannesburg does have an issue with women's safety, but it's when you are a foreigner living somewhere, you're treated better. Okay, we all know that you're treated better than the local people. So Johannesburg may be a wonderful choice as well. Museums, yeah, there's art. So if you're willing to swap out art galleries for museums, then yes, Johannesburg is another wonderful choice. Um, yeah, and then okay, so since we've just talked Southeast Asia, let's find a Southeast Asia. Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is not a place that I enjoyed. Or Bangkok. Bangkok, Thailand would fit this as well. good internet, easy to bop around, good, yes, because you can fly anywhere from Bangkok, good public transportation, yes, or and very walkable, yes, yeah, Bangkok as well. All right, we're doing it. Okay. All right, I saw some super chats pop up. Let me acknowledge you guys before I forget. All right, Flash Gordonia. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Nicole, thank you very much for the super chat. All right, and Lala, because it's my sister. Hi, Lala. Thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, thanks, guys, for that. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me scroll. It's hard for me to see. Once I move myself, it's hard for me to see where I was. But I'm gonna try to get the first, at least the first ones who put their information in. If you're just joining us, you're telling me what you need in a place, and I'm telling you what place I think that is. Remember that I'm just talking, okay? You got to do your own research. And I've only been to places I've been. I haven't been to places that I haven't been yet, right? So that's that. Jessica Jess, warm weather, good internet, bop around, $3,000 a month. Okay, same. So you got the same suggestions as the last lady, who I just forgot your name already. I'm sorry. Igami, greetings from Stockholm. Hello, Igami. Can you tell us Stockholm? Do we have questions about Stockholm? Is Stockholm a place where in the summertime you can enjoy beaches? Or is it too far? I know y'all probably don't get in the water, but do y'all go to the beach in Sweden? Or am I not figuring things out correctly? Oh, good. Adelia's shouting out Stockholm. Adelia will be there soon. Okay. All right. Valdez, Washington. I wanted to know if Thailand would be a good place for me to move to. I don't know about Thailand's residency process. Okay, so before COVID, people would just do visa runs in Thailand. I don't know anyone who got residency in Thailand personally. I know people who would go for however long they got when they entered the country, leave for a day or however long, and then come back to Thailand. So I think it's important to have residency in another country, and particularly if you're an American, if you're a Black American person, I think it's important to have residency in another country. And I don't know that there's a clear path to residency for Americans in Thailand, like there is in Central America, South America, Mexico, parts of Europe, right? There's a very clear path. You need this much money, you can become a resident, right? Basically, in some parts of the world. I don't know Southeast Asia. I don't know what's happening. So Malaysia used to be a place where they had a wonderful program called Malaysia My Second Home. And you could basically buy your way into Malaysia. That's over. Even before COVID, I think the Malaysia My Second Home program was over. So I think it's important Thailand is a wonderful place to be and to experience life and to eat and to meet friends. But is it a place to live, to move to? Depends on their residency process. It depends on if they have a clear path for you to become a resident there. So that's a good question. I enjoyed my time in Thailand. I spent 2 months there, but I moved the whole time. I bopped right throughout Thailand. I started in the beaches in the south. I went all the way up to Chiang Mai. And I saw Hua Hin. I saw something happen in Hua Hin. I went to Hua Hin. I had never heard of anybody going there. And it's a place I feel like I discovered, right? I'm like, I discovered this place. It's amazing. And then I just saw something. I don't know if it was a new resort that opened there or someone's YouTube video. And I was like, I discovered that place, right? I just ended up there. Anyway, Thailand, wonderful. Can you stay there? I don't know. True. I don't know. I think it's important. If you're talking about staying someplace, we don't want to leave it up to the agent at the airport as to whether or not we can get back in. Residency means they have to let you in unless you break the law or whatever. But Showing up on just your tourist visa means that anybody, any one person at any time can tell you no. That's what a tourist visa means. And when you're doing visa runs back and forth just on the tourist visa, you're leaving a lot up to a stranger. I'm not into that. Especially if you're talking about getting a place, you're talking about getting, setting up shop someplace. I don't like that idea for you, for me, for us. So Thailand, that's my question about Thailand. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. Hi, Monica. Monica Dennis. Budget 3,500 per month. Travel to other countries with ease. Again, that's important. Good transportation or walkability close to the city or in the city. All right. $3,500 a month means you could spend $2,000 a month on accommodation. So that opens up a lot of the world to you. Um, Travel to other countries. So a lot of the world is open to you. I don't think this is specific enough, Monica, because I'm just going to tell you, you could probably go anywhere. For $3,500 a month, you could probably even live in London comfortably, which is expensive. To me, London is just like, ugh, why? Why is it so expensive? It's an island. I get it. I get it that UK is an island, and that's why. And Ireland, it's an island, right? That's why things are so expensive there. But still, like, but you could, I don't know. I feel like this opens you up to a lot of places, and I don't think that that's a very helpful answer. I don't think that's very helpful. Any major, I don't know a major city that $3,500 a month is not going to be enough in, right? If you're talking about you could spend 2,000, 25, you could spend $2,500 a month on rent, right? If you're spending $2,500 a month on rent, you could live almost anywhere. Maybe not Dublin, Ireland, right? So okay, so let's take some places away. Probably not Dublin, Ireland, but you can live in the Netherlands, which is my place where if I do have a family of my own, I think I would raise my family in the Netherlands, if you're asking, right? So you can afford to live in the Netherlands on that budget. They are some of the happiest children in the world and some of the most cared for citizens in the world. At For $2,500 a month in rent, you could live in what are other like places that you could live in Paris, you could live anywhere. I don't know, Monica. That's not helpful, I know, but you could live anywhere on this budget, I think. Am I wrong about this? Yes. And then Sashana, the US dollar is doing really well against the euro right now too. It's the perfect time to go to Europe. Yeah. Okay, 3,500 Francis Aboyage. I'm sorry, Francis. Francis Aboage. I'm gonna work on it. $3,500 a month. You could live. You could, right. So you can even afford Ghana, right? You can even afford Accra, Ghana. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that this is helpful to you because. Okay. I think this is for me. That's a great answer. Okay. The world is open to you. I think. Uh, yeah. Kat, who is Rebloom Room, says that with this budget, you could live anywhere in the UK other than London. So you don't think, Kat, that that's enough for London? I guess it depends, right? It all depends. What I think is fine at $2,500 a month, some of y'all be like, I'm not living in this, right? So it all depends. It's very individual and situational. But I feel like the world is open to you at that budget. And so then you get to look at the other things. The good news is when the world is open, you get to be really nitpicky. You get to get down to the nitty gritty, or you get to bop. You just get to try. You get to try some places and see. Yeah, you just get to try some places, right? Oh, okay, so let's go. So somebody just mentioned the Middle East, and the Middle East may be off. So Oman, which seems like a wonderful place, Oman may be out of reach at $3,500 a month. So there are some places that $3,500 a month is not. So not every place can you live comfortably on $3,500 a month, but a lot of places, a lot of places. Yeah. Yes. So the Middle East, we don't talk about that very much because the women who move there, they're busy living. What I do know is that women who teach in the Middle East or women who work in the schools, work in education and live in the Middle East, They have a good life. So we talked to Nicole Brewer from the Exodus Summit and Marilyn Shane, and they both Nicole taught English as a second language in college. You know what I'm saying? So she was an ESL teacher, but she taught college age people. And Marilyn worked in a school, but she was a school administrator for, I think, for an international school. And they both lived well, right? Like, I'm going to this 5-star resort to get pampered for the weekend. Well, um, so I know I said that the Middle East is super expensive or whatever, but I don't know for sure. And these women are making it work. So it must be, there's something. There's something. Okay. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can find where I left off. Adrian, is Portugal child friendly? What about the education system? Do many of the locals speak English? I found in Portugal, not a lot of people spoke English compared to like in Lisbon, which is a major city, compared to like, well, actually, I'm going to say this. I spent enough time out of the tourist area to find that most people did not speak English. You need to be able to get your coffee in Portuguese, right? The some of the stuff that we worry about. Let me rip this thing. I don't know why I'm suddenly obsessed with ripping this thing off, this sticker. Um, as far as locals speaking English, do you really need them to speak English to go about your day? No, no, no. You can get your what think about the transactions that you're going to have on a daily basis, and can you figure out how to do those things? You can figure out the grocery store, the whatever. You can figure those things out. I don't know. I hope that you're not making your plan based on where the locals speak English, because that's going to subjugate you to. So that's going to make you just go to the UK and Belize, right? There's a whole world out there where the locals don't speak English, and you can learn enough to get by in the beginning, and then learn more and more as you go. Um, so no, in most of Portugal, the locals do not speak English. Okay, when you get outside of the tourist centers, in a lot of places, the locals don't speak English. Right? They don't have to. Um, is the place child friendly? Yes. The world is probably much more child friendly than the U.S. U.S. is the only place you'll go where people will like apologize for having kids with them. It's just not a thing in the rest of the world. Kids are part of the family and they're included. And if we're at a restaurant at 8, 9, 10 at night, so are our kids. And if we go to this thing, so do our kids. And there are parks for the kids, and there are, right? So the non-child friendly question is a question only Americans ask, and it's because you come from a place that has been very unchild friendly. When I went to Spelman for 1 year, and I heard a woman talk, and I cannot forget what she talked about. Her talk was um, on how American white people hate children, and how so much of our world is set up to be anti-child. And to me, I was like, this woman is tripping, right? This is just normal activity. Now that I have traveled, now that I have seen the world and how the rest of the world operates, I'm like, oh yeah, she's right. White American people do hate children. I will never forget her talk and my reaction to her talk in the moment and my total change of mind as a grown-up. Um, every place, I don't know of a place that's not going to be child friendly, right? Like a place that's going to be like, you can't bring, right? You can't bring your kids to our wedding. You're not going to go to places and they don't have kids at the weddings, right? Like that's an American thing. Now, the education system, as Adelia addressed, education system pretty much is in line with their economic status or system or whatever. So if they're a poor country, they're probably not going to have a strong public education system. Everyone everywhere has international schools, I think, right? So I think international schools, you may just need to pay for your child's education at an international school, or again, do some mix of homeschooling, world schooling, unschooling, all of those things. But Portugal, your question was about Portugal. Is it child friendly? Yes, it's Europe. Europeans, they're child friendly. So are Central Americans, so are South Americans, so are Africans, sub-Saharan Africans, so are Middle Easterners, so are Asians. Okay. Yes, Portugal is child friendly. I don't know about the Portugal education system. Do many of the locals speak English? No. but you can manage. You can manage, right? The things that you need to know to navigate life in the very beginning are very minimal. And it's 2022. Somebody will translate things for you, or Google will translate things for you, or you pay someone to come with you. If it's a real, like, let's say I was looking for an apartment, I may pay someone to hang out, to come with me that day to help me navigate this because, well, I don't know. You can probably get a realtor who speaks English. But if you had a realtor who didn't speak English and you need to communicate some things, that's an easy solution. I hope that we're not making our decisions based on do the locals speak English. Because there's a whole world out there full of people who don't speak English and who will be good to you. But if you need the people to speak English, aside from English speaking countries, there are rankings. You can find rankings of the countries where the people are the most bilingual and where English is the second language that they learn. The Netherlands is always high up on that list. Dutch people always speak English. Germans, they learn English in school. Will they speak it to you? Remains to be seen. Because some people, in particular Germans, I've only been to Frankfurt and I've only been to Frankfurt for like a day. But Germans in particular are stubborn people, right? Even if they do speak English, they may not let you know it. But I hope that that's not a part of your main figuring out process. Because you can learn enough to navigate that place in a few days, seriously. And then the rest you learn as you go, just like you learn this language. All right. Francis, there are places you cannot easily walk in neighborhoods and interact with locals and feel like yourself. Only Africa can give you that. No. I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to Central America. No. There are places where people will be good to you, right? No matter. Yeah, there are places where people will be good to you. There are places where people will not be nice to you. But there are places where they will be nice to you. Yeah. Is St. Croix a good place to live on $1,600 per month? I've never been to St. Croix, but off the bat, I'm going to say no, Lisa. No. You need to look at what apartments cost in that place or what homes cost in that place. $1,600 I don't think will even get you a place to lay your head. Anna, I think English benefits expats in Portugal because they can understand what the Portuguese people are saying. I'd never moved to Portugal. I think English expats benefit in Portugal because they can't understand what the Portuguese people are saying. It is nice to nice to be out in public and not be able to understand people's conversations, right? Because you don't realize this. When you understand what people are saying, your brain is taking it in. But when you don't understand what they're saying, it's just background noise. It's nice to not understand what people are saying. And once you hit that point in learning a language that you start to understand other people's conversations, you no longer have that like quiet white noise anymore. Listen, everyone has an agenda. I have an agenda, right? Everyone has their own agenda. I'm okay with it, right? This is just not the place for that agenda. This is a place where we talk about peace of mind and ease. And if the place that you're trying to move Black women to is not a place of peace of mind and ease, we don't hear it. We're not hearing it. We don't hear it. Excuse me. Sherry, honestly, I just want to live near my people. So Europe and Mexico is out for me. The Caribbean is my first choice. The Caribbean, so I have learned very lately that the Caribbean is less expensive than I thought, even though I just said St. Croix for $1,600 is a no, right? It is, I thought it was much more expensive than it is. It can be done less expensively than I thought. Some of these small, beautiful islands, if you can deal with island life, can be wonderful. I've learned that I'm not an island life person. I've learned that I'm a person who likes to visit islands, but not to live there, right? I've learned some things about myself. But the Caribbean is a wonderful choice. Central America too. So there are Black people in Central America. So yeah, there are options. Excuse me. Stephanie, looking for easy residency. Okay. A beach and beach weather. JFM. January, February, March. Okay. Beach weather, January, February, March. Okay. Good public transportation, friendly people, English spoken widely. All right, so you typed this before I talked about the English spoken widely thing. I hope, again, I have an agenda. Okay, I have an agenda, but I hope that we will take that off of the list. Uh, yeah, it just doesn't need to factor in. It's like you can learn it. You can learn, right? Think about your daily. Okay, so there's a difference between your daily life and like forming community. So forming community with people, it will help if you can speak the same language, but you can learn their language. Okay. Easy residency, beach weather, January, February, March. So again, this is beach weather, January, February, March is the Caribbean. It is Mexico and Central America. Beach weather, so in South Africa, we're talking beach weather, January, February, March, because they're Southern Hemisphere. Brazil. Okay. Good public transportation, not the Caribbean, I don't think, except for Barbados does have a reputation for being easier to get around without a car. But in a lot of the Caribbean, you need to have a car to live your life, which, ugh, right? So we're talking now, we've narrowed the Caribbean down to Barbados, and we've taken you to the beaches in Mexico. We're still in Cape Town. So if you're talking about beach and beach weather, we're talking Cape Town and that area, not Johannesburg, right? And English spoken widely in Cape Town is a yes. Okay. Easy residency. Uh, it depends on the money. It depends on how much money you have. So there is a path to residency in South Africa that might be worthwhile pursuing. But I don't know about easy as like a Panama, right? Panama, Costa Rica, easy. Mexico, easy. Beach, Portugal is not on this list because Portugal does not have beach weather January, February, March. Even if you go down to like the Algarve area, it's still, I don't think it's beach weather. It's like 60 degrees, 60, 70 degrees during the day. Okay, so we've gotten you in Cape Town, Barbados, all of Central America. So public transportation in Costa Rica is different, but fine, right? Actually, not on the beaches. So Costa Rica may be off the list because the good public transportation in Costa Rica is in the city, in the Central Valley, not at the beaches, as far as I know. So we've gotten you to where? Barbados, Cape Town, maybe Panama. Okay. Okay. The answer, I live in Bangkok. I'm very happy here. $2,500 a month is more than enough to live well. Can you tell us, the answerer, can you tell us about residency? Did you apply for a residency visa? Are you a permanent resident, a temporary resident, or are you there on tourist visas? Thank you, Erica. Thank you. Hello, friend. Linnea Johnson, Dublin has nice people and seemed very affordable when I went for vacation. So Dublin, Ireland. So I have only looked at Airbnb. So to me, once I look at an Airbnb price, then I know the apartment price is significantly less, right? But I start with the Airbnb for a month, and I couldn't find a nice Airbnb for under $4,000 a month. Like an apartment. I'm not talking about a Dublin, like a mansion, a castle. I'm talking about an apartment in Dublin. I couldn't find one for under $4,000 a month, which tells me that their apartments expensive. It's super expensive. So I don't know. I also agree. I don't think it gets extremely cold. Excuse me. And Irish people have a reputation. We're talking Irish people, not Irish Americans. Okay. Irish people have a reputation of being some of the best people in the world. Seriously. So that's what I only say nice things about Ireland, even though I've never been there. But I do think it's probably more expensive than most of us are going to be willing to put up with. I don't know. Okay. Somebody looking for apartments for us and tell us. Oh, hey, I'm going to answer this real quick. Hi, Geronimo, on the go. House sitter school there's no time limit. So once you pay for house sitter school, you have access to it indefinitely. I don't have a time limit on it until the internet disappears. Until, well, it's hosted on Gumroad, right? So until Gumroad goes out of business, which is no time soon, you have access to house sitter school. Yeah. But I would say once you buy your membership to Trusted House Sitters, you only have a year. So you might as well get started right away, right? If you're going to pay for your membership, get started. Tolanda, I would say, Tolanda says, what about places that have sister locks consultants? I would say instead, what about places where I can afford to fly to get my hair done once or twice a year? Does that sound reasonable? If it's something you don't want to do for yourself, and I understand wanting to outsource doing your hair, okay? As a person who has this hair and does not do much to this hair, I understand not wanting to do your own hair. If you want to have someone do your hair, can you just pick a place where you can afford to fly to someone when you need to, right? Add that into your budget. A part of my ideal monthly budget includes me flying to places, right? And doing other traveling. So include that in your monthly budget. I think you'd have a better outcome that way. If not, if you need to have a Sister Locks consultant in your city, start there. Like seriously, decide your priorities and start there, right? I've told y'all, I need to be in a place where the average man is at least 5'9", right? You're not going to find countries on my list that don't fit that criteria. That may not matter to some of you. It doesn't it does not matter to some of y'all because you don't want a man, or you got a man, or you like little men. I don't know. I don't know. Determine your own priorities and make that the thing. Start there. All right. We like Stockholm in the summer. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, Sashana. Sometimes when I talk to black women and they start talking money stuff, I'm like, girl, you got it. Just go, just use it, right? Yes, she got money. Just use it, right? That's right. I love it too. I love it too. All right. Kat says you can swim in the water in Stockholm. Oh, that don't sound right. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. All right, CN, is Barcelona a nice place for black women? Anybody move there? There is a nice contingent of black women from the US and UK and Canada living all around Spain. Um, yeah, all around Spain. They're called Morenas de España. Yeah, Morenas de España. I'm in the group, but it's been a while since I've poked my head in. Morena, yeah, so there's a contingency of black women all around Spain. Spain doesn't have the best reputation in general for its treatment of black people, okay? When you go to countries that border or that are, yeah, that have that kind of are in proximity to Africa, all right? You're going to find their white people are going to be a little extra racist. Yeah, okay? So the people in Spain, the people in the south of France, the people in Italy, right? Their proximity to Africa means they're going to be a little extra racist. So it depends on your tolerance level for that. If you live in the US, it probably won't seem much different. But if you're coming from the UK, I've heard UK black women really struggle in Spain and Italy because they're just not used to that certain type of attitude of white people, right? So it depends on your tolerance level. If you can live in Georgia, you can live in Spain. If you live, yeah, okay, it depends. So it depends on the scale of things. Spain does not have the best reputation for black women, but right, if you want to live near some beaches, if you want to eat paella on a daily basis, If you want to be able to fly around the rest of Europe and the rest of the world, might be a good choice, but still might be a decent choice for you. Yeah, that's what I'll say. Not the best reputation. Barcelona actually probably has a better reputation than Madrid. So there's that, right? Madrid is what I hear is the worst for its treatment of Black people. So it's all on a scale. It all depends. I know I didn't answer your question, but it all depends. And anybody here living there? Lisa Ling, I need a place that's good for single Black women to look for a mate. Basically, out of the U.S. Out of the U.S. If you don't have a height requirement, seriously, I'm not even joking. If you don't have a height requirement and you don't have a divorce requirement, so I have a particular requirement that I want to be in a place where people get divorced because I feel like that's going to give me more single men. Okay? I've told y'all this, okay? I want to be in a country where they actually get divorces, okay? Some places they get married young, they don't get divorced. So even though they like Black women, they're not available. So I like the divorce rate to be kind of high. So it depends on your age, okay? If you're young enough, it won't matter because the men are still single, right? If you're in your 20s, it may not matter. I'm 48. If you have a requirement for the men to have dinero, this is also going to change the conversation, okay? So anywhere in the world, I'm going to tell you, I think anywhere in the world outside of the United States, you're going to find men are into Black women, okay? It doesn't matter what they are. Maybe a little less in Asia, but still you'll find them. A little more in Europe, Africa, Central America, I think. That's been my experience interviewing, I don't know, 100 Black women on this channel, okay? But the questions are, what do you want in this man, okay? If he needs to be taller than 5'9", just follow me, because I'm going there, right? Curacao, Portugal, what is it called? The Scandinavian countries, the Netherlands, Costa Rica, right? If you need them to be divorced or have divorce as an option, that's going to narrow things down for you. But most importantly, if you need him to have dinero, right? Some women are perfectly fine with marrying or dating. You didn't say, yeah, mate. Okay. So some women are perfectly fine with being in a relationship with a man where you have the economic advantage, right? He don't have no money, but he does this and that, okay? If you're okay with that, that opens up a lot of options to you. If you're not okay with that, I would say South Africa, again, back to Johannesburg. There are men with money. South Africans are not tall, but the men who have moved to South Africa from Nigeria and Ghana with money, they're tall. I don't know about the Zimbabweans and the Zambians. I don't know. I think they're kind of tall too, but I don't think they have the dough like the Nigerians and the Ghanaian men, right? So South Africa would be another good choice. Okay, so basically, we need a little more clarity, but in the meantime, pretty much anywhere. Pretty much anywhere, okay? How did I do with that question? The green card is a golden ticket. I don't feel any type of way about the green card situation. I'm not moving back to the United States, so I would be pointless. It would be pointless for me to marry someone, for someone to marry me for a green card. I don't think it would be helpful to them. If we don't live in the US, I don't think it would be helpful, right? So I think that I have taken myself out of that running. I think that no man would deal with me if that's his motive. On the other hand, if you're okay with that, I don't care. Like, I don't care, right? Some women, no problem, right? Just like men been doing it, right? Men will be like, I'll go to a country, I'll marry a woman, I will take care of her and her whole family, right? I know that's what they want. I'm down with it. This is our agreement. If you like it, I love it. So I'm not too paranoid about the green card situation. I will say dating in South Africa is an adventure. They're different. They're in love instantaneously. Okay, it's different. So if you're like me and you're like, leave me alone. If you're a leave me alone type of woman, It's hard. Okay, dating in South Africa is more annoying than you would think. But also, like, if you just want to be in a place where you are worshipped and adored, okay, South Africa is it. It's the answer. All right, is the answer. I'm trying to get this on here. Tanya, I love South Africa. Yeah, yeah. Okay, if a man can stand on his wallet for height, that works for me. You have to know what you want. Right. Know what your priorities are. Alicia, what is more laid back, Cape Town, Durban, or Johannesburg? To me, Durban was boring and I wouldn't live there. Okay. Uh, Laid back is beyond. To me, maybe I was there at the wrong time. Maybe I didn't meet the right people. To me, Durban, boring, wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth the effort. So I would say between Cape Town and Johannesburg, so that Durban was the most laid back, but laid back to a fault. So the answer is Durban. Um, I think, well, when I was there, I experienced Johannesburg being more vibrant and alive, and Cape Town being more laid back. But you can have either experience in either place, right? When I was in Johannesburg, I was there with or like in the midst of like the Black excellence boom that was everywhere I went in Johannesburg, but also like in a like good and bad way, but also like the I don't know. Johannesburg is alive is the best way I can put it. I always say that Johannesburg is alive. So it's blacker. The population could be exactly the same. I don't know of Black people in both places, but Johannesburg is just blackety black, right? It's black on purpose. Okay. Cape Town is, we want to cater to Europeans as well. And there's a lot of Dutch and whatever, whatever. Johannesburg is like, oh no, we black. Okay. Yeah. But the main difference really is the beach, right? The main difference is, do I want a beach life or do I want a city life? Yeah. Okay. Yes. And Ashley's here. Ashley just ASH. I saw your comment flash by. Ashley just spent some time in South Africa and did some videos there. I love South Africa. Hey, Ashley. Ashley says, I love South Africa for dating. Yes. International professional African men from all over the continent. Yes. Yes. That's right. Yes. Okay. So remember, even though I say that the South African men are small, and they're very small, okay? There are men from all over Africa there, and they have dough. If they've moved there, they very well may have dough. And then Durban, I'd agree, the most laid back out of the three. Do you find Durban boring? Did I just miss the fun in Durban? Is it worth time for someone else? My vote, don't even waste your time there, okay? Let Ashley tell you if I'm missing something, because I could have just missed the fun. To me, Durban was just like a boardwalk and a casino, right? That was my experience of Durban. Not worth it. It's so much potential, right? Like, this is a city on the beach. I mean, it's got everything you would want, but they didn't, I don't know. I feel like it was missing everything. Missing everything. All right, all right, all right. Hyacinth, I've lived in Valencia, Spain for a month and felt very comfortable. My brother has lived farther in and off. No, I can't read. Farther on and off the last 20 years. Okay. Somebody just in Exodus Summit today was asking questions about Valencia. If you're in the Exodus Summit Facebook group, Hyacinth, you are. Hi. Hyacinth, over the weekend when we met in Cancun, I asked Hyacinth so many times for your name. And I think it's this picture. I think I'm confusing your profile picture and your face, and I couldn't connect the two. Okay. If you don't mind, someone asked a question about Valencia in the community today. I think she was just asking about neighborhoods. I don't remember what she was asking about Valencia. All right. Yes, A says that's why I can't do African men. They get attached fast and they're in love in a few weeks. It's too much. It's too much for some. There is a woman who that is wonderful for, right? There is a woman who loves it, but she's not me. She's not me. All right. We already covered. Hi, Lauraville. The clicking noise is the chat. I'm on a third-party app called Ecamm Live. I don't know, maybe they did something and made it louder so that you can hear it because it's always there. But I guess now you guys are hearing it for the first time. I don't know. When I watch the replay, I always hear it. I watch the replays of these live streams so that I can read the chat for myself because I miss so much. But yeah. All right. Oh, Dion Marie says Durban also has very poor air quality. Okay. Hi, Malka. I moved to America 10 years ago. I married 3 different times. Why do you keep saying that they don't like black women in America? I had several other proposals during those 10 years. Girl. Well, it's because I have the comparison. Uh, I don't know. I feel like, do you have an accent, right? Are you viewed as exotic here? Are you somebody who men who don't like their own women would gravitate towards? Because they don't like me. They don't like my homegirls. Me and my homegirls never been married. Me and my homegirls who have a desire to be married, right? To have a desire to be in a partnership with a man have not had that, right? But as soon as they leave the country, boom, wedded. That's what I'm going on. My mom and I went to Nomadness is a tribe of black and brown travelers, and they had an in-person conference in 2019 that I spoke at in Memphis. Right now, I can't get the name out. But anyway, Nomadness had a conference in Memphis. Room full of black women. I was one of the oldest, me and my mom, right? But out of the actual group, I was one of the oldest because they tend to be 10, 20 years younger than me, millennials, right? I'm Gen X. Room full of black women. And one of the speakers, who was a couple, there was a speaker who was there were a couple speaking about stuff. And the man asked, so how many of y'all are married? And not one black woman in that room raised her hand. I want to say 100 black women. You know we looked good, okay? That goes without saying. 100 black women, not one raised her hand. Even my mom was like, oh, right? Some of these women don't want to be married. Some of these women don't partner with men anyway, right? But a good portion of them would have wanted to partner with men, right? Not partnered with men. I also went to a school with white people. I went to Westerville North High School. Every last one of them girls got married. The cute ones, the not cute ones, the nice ones, the mean ones. Now, they didn't stay married, but every last one of them girls got married, right? I can see clearly the difference between white women in America and black women in America. So that's why I say it. I'm speaking from experience of me and my homegirls. Okay, I'm not saying don't come to the U.S. because if you're exotic, utilize that. Child, get that alimony times 3. I'm not mad at it. All right. I'm telling you, I personally have not been able to get any alimony throughout this whole country in my 48 years of living. Okay. All right. So did I answer? Did anyone put in what their requirements are and not get a response? VS006 says I can silence it. I only know how to silence everything, including me. Mic, overlay, recording, output. So output, options, show picture, transition, crop screen, overlay, mic. All I can do is mute the microphone, camera, source, scene, profile. I don't see any option to just, here, stop most recent sound effect, stop all sound effects. We'll see if that helps. So I did a stop all sound effects. I can still hear the notification, so I'm guessing you can too. Yeah. I don't know why y'all are just hearing this. I promise. I've done, 100 live streams? I've used Ecamm Live for every last one. I don't know. Maybe y'all got good hearing all of a sudden. The COVID, everybody got the COVID and now they can have supersonic hearing. I don't know. All right. Alimony. Alimony. That's why. Yes. That's why. So JW says, I spent a few weeks in Durban. It's a party city. I was wary about it, but I found my people. I missed the party. Maybe nobody invited me. Nobody invited me. Yes. Johannesburg is alive. It's a wonderful city. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Any country with dense expat hubs and newbies for housemates. Lots of countries are expat hubs. Any of these countries that people are on YouTube talking about, and these cities, I guess the cities, any of these cities that people are on YouTube talking about. Lisbon, Mexico City, Panama City, Medellin. I don't know. I shouldn't start to name it because basically all major cities are also hubs for expats. All major cities that welcome in foreigners are hubs for expats right now because so many people can work remotely. If you're looking for housemates in that city, what you need to do is you need to get in the community, the online community for expats in that city, right? Most cities will have a Black expats community and a general expats community. Some of them will have a mom's community or whatever. You need to find these places and get in there. Most of them are on Facebook. I know how some people don't feel good about Facebook, but most of them have a Facebook community or 2 or 5 for that area, right? So like Guadalajara has an expat community. They have a Black Guadalajara expat community. And then some like Lake Chapala, the sisters in Lake Chapala, they have their own community, which is a little further south of Guadalajara, right? So if you're looking for housemates, I think that's the best place to start. You might need to get to that city. What I would do personally, as a person who plans to move to Costa Rica and may be willing to get a housemate for just the first couple of months, I think you need to get to that city and meet people, meet the people. So first get in the group, get in the online community. If it's a Facebook group or whatever, get in there, introduce yourself, poke around, see what people are talking about, what people sound like they would be, people you'd want to have dinner with. Okay, get in the community, get to the city, and introduce yourself in person to these people, right? Have coffees, have drinks, have breakfast, have dinners, have meetups with these people in person. I think that's the path to getting a housemate in your place. I've been thinking about this a lot myself for this winter. But any place that you're considering going is a place that is an expat hub, particularly any place with a decent cost of living and some decent like entry visa. It doesn't have to be a permanent residency, but some places have a specific digital nomad visa. Some places just give tourists a long stay. That's why the places in Mexico are so popular, because tourists can get up to 180 days on the tourist visa. But a lot of the world has become digital nomad hubs. Like we just saw someone in Bangkok, right? Bangkok, Thailand was a big digital nomad hub before COVID. Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur and Chiang Mai, and I'm trying to think of other places in South. Sri Lanka was. I really wish I had visited Sri Lanka when I had the chance. Sri Lanka was even though their internet speed wasn't the best, they were a place that expats really loved going, and digital nomads really loved spending months. Ukraine was also a place, right? Was a digital nomad hub. What is it? Kiev, Ukraine was a big digital nomad hub. But a lot of that region still is. In Montenegro, in Croatia, in the other places, Serbia, right? Still are digital nomad hubs. Even and in the Caribbean, right? And in the Caribbean, Curacao had probably 5 different co-working centers, 4. I think 4. Curacao is a tiny island, 40 miles long, something like that, 40 miles long. And they had 4 co-working centers because a lot of Dutch people come from the Netherlands to work there for the winter. So I don't know if you're another person who I haven't helped you because everything is open to you. If what you're looking for is a place that is dense with expats, then any major city. And if you're a digital nomad and you need certain things to work in that place, any major city, any major city is going to be worthwhile for you. Okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling backwards. Maxine, another thing that we haven't covered yet, gay-friendly places. So some of these places you're perfectly fine until, right? Until or as long as there's no indication that you're gay, right? Then you're in danger. You're not safe here. So this is another significant consideration that I would move to the top of my list. I wouldn't want to be a gay person trying to live or stay long term in a place that is hostile to gay people. So not the Caribbean. Maxine, I don't have an expertise in this, but I would say not the Caribbean, not parts of the Caribbean, but other parts. Curacao, I think, has a reputation of being gay friendly. I would say not parts of the Caribbean, but other countries, yes. Some parts of the Caribbean are going to be an active no, right? An obvious no, right? And other parts are going to be a yes. I think I need to have somebody have this discussion on the channel. But I wouldn't cross out the whole Caribbean. I would take it country by country because it's a lot of countries, right? The Caribbean covers a lot of countries. Thailand is a yes, right? So I'm surprised to see South Africa on your list as gay friendly. I'm surprised to see that. I'm just thinking and trying to remember things, okay? Brazil, Colombia, yeah. I think yeah. I'm gonna add Costa Rica. I'm not gonna let a conversation go by without hyping up Costa Rica. I'm gonna add Costa Rica to this list, right? Yeah, they have a good rating with the human rights people, the people who rate countries based on their human rights activity, and part of that is because of their gay. I think I may be mixing up countries, but I think because of their education and because of their treatment of gay people, treating gay people with equality, right? I don't know that they had gay marriage, but they might. That might be why they're so high on the list, but they might not, because they're still a Catholic country. And Kemi is saying here in Jamaica is more gay friendly to women than men, right? So that's also a difference, right? You need to know what your priorities are and your concerns is not a strong enough word, but what is important to you, not concerns. You need to know your priorities and you need to know your potential problems and put them at the top of your list, right? Philippines, very gay friendly. Yes. Amsterdam also. Yes. Yes. Very important. So, okay. Erica agrees. South Africa is gay friendly. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I'm really surprised by that. Not because of anything that I saw while I was there or experienced, just because. Okay. So that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Hold on. I see your comments about a troll, but hold on. The chat moves so fast that I can't find them. Okay. Yvette Mariano. Now, how do I do it? Hold on. Give me a chance. Ban. Okay. All right. I see your messages. I did it. It took me a while to see it, but I did it. I was busy talking, but I think I did it. Yes, Julian Albino. Good point. Julian Albino has traveled throughout South Africa and over in like Central and South America too, I think. Okay, very large LGBT community in South Africa. Thank you. African Dreams and Haze. Hello. Hi. Welcome. Yes. Okay, good. Good to know. Yes, I've seen his video, so I don't know. I just am forgetting. I'm forgetting. Okay. Yes. That's right. That's right. What's safe, what's good for men, not necessarily good for women, and vice versa. So we need to be very clear on that. Good point, Miss Nova. Yes. Okay. Yes. Non negotiables. Thank you, Maria. I couldn't come up with something stronger than concerns. Yes. What are your non negotiables? Please and thank you. Yes. Hi, Patty. Yes. Right. What are your standards? What are your requirements? Requirements. Yeah. My list is not going to help you. I'm telling y'all, my list is not going to help you because I told you, 5'9" average male height is at the top of my list. Now, how's that going to help you? It's not, right? So we need to determine our own requirements, our own must-haves, our own standards, our own non-negotiables. Thank you for those. Thank you for that help, friends. Some of the things you just won't know until you get someplace and you don't have it. And then you'll be like, oh, also, I need to be able to flush my toilet paper in the toilet. Right? Right? Because I done told y'all already you can live in Guanajuato, Mexico for $1,500 a month. What I didn't tell you is you need to put your toilet paper in the trash can. You don't flush your toilet paper in the toilet, right? Some things you just won't know until you experience them for yourself. Nobody can get you fully prepared for a place. This is another reason why we don't move to places by shipping pallets and pallets of stuff, especially places we haven't lived already, right? We don't do that. We move with our 3-4 suitcases. And then if we get there and we can't stand it, we keep it moving. We packs it up and we go someplace else. You don't have to worry about saying, I have residency in a place and so I have to stay in a place. Most of them have some sort of requirement for how many days you need to be there. But like Costa Rica, the requirement is just if you get residency in Costa Rica, you now need to fly. You need to arrive in Costa Rica once a year. That's it. You need to visit Costa Rica once a year, right? Some places may have a day count. And so if you want to hold on to residency while you shop around other places, you do need to be aware of your requirement as a new resident to a place. But you can stack residencies. You can be a resident of Costa Rica and Panama and France and whatever, you can stack them up as long as you don't skip out, as long as you can follow up on the requirements. Okay, good. Erica, these videos are helping. They're helping a lot as a plan to move with my daughter. Good. Right. I'm glad. Yeah, that's the point. We want to it's good to hear what other people are working on, what other people are doing, because it gives you info, right? For yourself and for your daughter, for your move. Good question. Alicia says, is there a South Africa Facebook group? She's not seen one yet. If anyone is in one, holler at your girl. I'm not in any. If you haven't looked, I would look for expats in Johannesburg and Black expats in Johannesburg. See what you see. If you don't see any, somebody here help Alicia find them. Jay Will, any expats who are Christians, what was your experience in finding a church? Anybody have any info on that? I've never ever looked for a church abroad, so I can't help you with that. Now that church is on the internet, do you need to find a church in your country? I know I've said determine your own non-negotiables. Okay, so I want to stick with that, but I also want to say, is this a non-negotiable? Like speaking English. Like I've already tried to talk everyone out of saying I want to move to a place where people speak English. Yeah, church can be on the internet, I think. Okay. Yeah. Erlene. Hi, Erlene. I guess when it comes to living in a place, you must know your tolerance level. Yeah, some things we just don't know. Like, seriously, some things you just don't know. I did not know that I am perfectly fine living in a place where roosters crow all day. I'm fine with it. It annoys some people. I do coaching calls with people, and do calls with Rashida. And every time there are people who will comment on it every time. I'm like, girl, I don't even hear it. Like, why are you so upset? Rashida can't even stand birds chirping, right? She could not live in a place with birds chirping. It would set her off all day. She would be me, the person that I was in the first 10 minutes of this video. That would be Rashida all day, right? But some stuff you just don't know. How would you know that you can't stand it until you've experienced it, right? Some stuff you just have to give yourself that grace of saying, I'm gonna try this. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna try something else, you know? In Lake Chapala, in the Lake Chapala area of Mexico, and a lot of Mexico, there are celebrations from October through December. No sleep, no peace. Okay? When I tell you they are setting off fireworks that sound like bombs all day and all night, I mean, they're setting off fireworks that sound like bombs all day and all night. October through the middle of December, right? I learned that I don't care about that. Who knew? I learned that, you know what? I don't care. There's roosters, there's fireworks and bombs, there's dogs, rooftop dogs barking all the time. There's just music playing. It's a loud place. There's someone driving down the street announcing from his car. He's got a recording from his vehicle announcing that he's selling water or that he's buying washing machines, right? And I don't care about that noise. I didn't know that, right? We don't know things until we know them. So give yourself the grace. This is why we don't move places permanently with a lot of stuff. We move places and say, if it don't work, I'm picking myself up and I'm going someplace else. All right. Yeah, lots of cathedrals in Mexico, but if you're looking for an American style, like a Protestant church, a Baptist church, or whatever, I don't know. Unless there's a U.S. military base, I don't know that you're going to find an American style black church anywhere in the world, right? But military bases would probably be the best bet, close to a military base. In Antigua, the crickets have their own amplifiers. I don't hear that stuff. I don't. Who knew? I don't. It doesn't bother me, right? I've been places in the Philippines, the geckos make noise. Or in a lot of places the geckos make noise, I guess. I never knew that geckos made a noise. And I remember asking the girl in the Philippines, and she was like, "It's that." And they kind of bark. To me, it sounds like barking. I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "What do you mean? It's just like where you live." And I was like, "No, we don't have those where I live. They don't. If we do, they don't make noise." Okay. Latasha, I think my only true requirement is a coast. Okay. Local coffee. This is good. I'm glad you put that in there. Something that you can enjoy in your new life. Local coffee. Yes, right? Australia had terrible coffee. I'm going to tell y'all, okay? There's a lot wrong with Australia. But the coffee you're not going to get good coffee in Australia. You're not going to get good coffee in the Philippines. The Philippines is close to Indonesia. They're neighbors, right? You cannot get good coffee in the Philippines, all right? It's good to know some small things that are going to really just make your life pleasurable. We're into that. Okay, so I'm glad you put that on here. Coast, local coffee, ability to walk around, don't want to have to drive. Okay. So Central America is coffee central, right? So the cities and towns in Central America would be fine. So in Costa Rica, the city and the beaches are separate, right? They're two different places. But if you wanted to be on the coast, listen, I told y'all I'm pointing y'all all to Costa Rica. I already told you that, okay? Costa Rica would be a good choice, but all the way down Panama, Colombia. Of course, Colombia. Girl, Colombia. Colombia might be perfect for you. Coast, local coffee, can walk around, don't want to drive. Colombia might be the one. And then in Kenyan coffee, right? So then in East Africa, coffee is also a big deal. Rwanda. We have some women who are making their new lives in Rwanda, okay? I don't know about the walkability, but if you're okay with someone else driving you, Rwanda might be a good choice. If it's less about not wanting to drive and more about not wanting to have a car, right? That might be a good choice too. Okay, hi Latasha. I'm glad you put coffee in there. I'm glad that we're thinking about like ways to make our day just enjoyable. All right. So I've skipped all over, but Livance, hello. Ashley in Africa lives in Tanzania. Her channel is Ashley in Africa. She's here in the chat. She's got videos for you. Boom. Okay, her latest comment. All right, Ashley says, this is Ashley in Africa's channel. Okay, so find her, Africa with a K. She's got the Tanzania videos for you. I've interviewed her here on my channel about her life in Tanzania, but she's got a full YouTube channel for you. If you're a Christian and you come to Africa, whoo, it will have you thinking differently about that thing. I believe it. I believe it. All right. But we talked here on this channel about Ashley's life in Tanzania and about how she's able to live a life that lets her be a better mother, right, to her daughters and not focus on the labor, the work of parenting, not work of parenting, but the household chores, the household work that we sometimes confuse with parenting, right? Doing the laundry and sweeping the floor, right? Someone else can do this. She can afford this in Tanzania so that she can be a present parent. It's a wonderful interview, but she has a full YouTube channel that you will enjoy. Good coffee is a must. Just be close to the bathroom. Yeah, so good coffee, I didn't know until, because I don't really drink good coffee. Like I pour a lot of stuff into my coffee. We've talked about this. Vanilla extract, sugar, heavy cream or half and half, or even sweetened condensed milk if I feel like it, right? I'm putting a lot of stuff in my coffee. But I didn't know that I would be so miserable in a place with bad coffee. And that was, even though the islands in the Philippines are beautiful. The islands in the Philippines are the most beautiful islands I've ever seen in my whole life. The islands of the Philippines, worth it. Coffee is terrible. It's terrible. I'm like, why? Indonesia is right there. Indonesia is right there. They have good coffee. Okay. All right. Yes, Tracy. Oops, sorry. Tracy, I also need housekeeping and laundry service. I'm not trying to take the labor with us. That's right. This is an important factor. So when we started talking about the dollar figure, right? That's part of your dollar figure. So a lot of women were talking about, $3,000 a month, $2,500 a month, $1,500 a month. Factor that in there, right? Factor that in there. What can you take off your plate? If we're moving for ease, like, be easy. Embrace it. That's right. That's right. I told y'all my monthly figure includes a nanny. I don't even have a child yet. It includes a nanny. It includes somebody to cook, or at least somebody delivering food, right? If it's not a chef, at least do they have DoorDash, right? At least do I not have to go to the restaurant to bring the food in, right? It was just bad. I don't know how to, you order coffee and you're most likely to get the packet of, not Nespresso, the little packet with the coffee and the sugar and the creamer already mixed in. You're not going to go to a cafe in the places I've been in the Philippines, and I spent 2 months in the Philippines bopping around, okay? You're not going to get a cup of coffee or an espresso. You're going to get a packet of coffee. I drink a lot of instant coffee, okay? But I don't want instant coffee at a cafe. I did not come to your cafe for instant coffee. That's what I mean. Rwanda coffee, yes. Rwanda coffee, yes. Okay? I haven't even been to Rwanda. I've been trying to figure out how to get there for the last, 2 years? Wanda from the Black Women Travel Podcast was having an event in Rwanda. when COVID popped off. So I still haven't been. Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes, yes, we want to move to a place where we can live the life of our dreams, right? Not just be there, right? But live, thrive. So think about those small things, or big and small things that are going to just make your day, your week pleasurable. It's okay to enjoy your life, enjoy your day, enjoy your cup of coffee. I went to Vietnam, so this is how I knew Vietnam was the place for me. I went to Vietnam. The coffee would be like 1 part coffee, 1 part sweetened condensed milk. I was like, I'm never leaving here. I live here now. I love Vietnam. That's Vietnamese coffee. That's what they do. Vietnam was so good to me. That sweetened condensed milk was so good to me. I had to have new clothes made in Vietnam. I was like, I could stop drinking this sweetened condensed milk every day and fit back into my clothes. Or I could just have clothes made that fit me. And I did the second. Good, I mean, life changing, life changing. I'm telling you. How safe is it where, Alicia? I see your question. Sharon, I need good food. I need community when I want to, when I want to people, and quiet at night when I need to sleep. All right. You're going to take off a lot of Mexico. The quiet at night thing, I'm still serious. Mexico, it's loud. It's a loud place. Maybe, okay, so a solution to loudness is to go higher altitude, higher, right? Get yourself a condo, a high-rise condo, instead of being at street level. But that's always a solution. A piece of a solution. It's not going to solve the problem because Rashida lives in a high-rise and you can still hear some things sometimes. But yeah, know what you need. Yes, indeed. And good food, don't sleep on the good food part because not all people are into it. I've been to the UK. They're not into good food. Even Curacao. There's no like food of Curacao, right? Like, you know? So yes, I ate lobster and shrimp and right. I ate food from the sea, but there was no like, this like Jamaica. It wasn't Jamaica. Curacao is not Jamaica, right? There's no like, this is the food here and this is what they do here. And right? There was decent food. I had really good sushi, believe it or not, because we're on the ocean. So I ate sushi a lot. Yes, know what you need. Arlene, is it better to travel in a group when going abroad? Depends. I'm not made for group travel. Some of us in this community are not made for group travel, right? We want to do things when we want to do them. We want to not do things when we don't want to do them. The benefit of traveling alone is that you're alone. You decide how much you do and don't do in that day, in that week, in that month. Okay? The benefit of group travel is you have someone who can determine your itinerary for you. Now, with group travel, you can still say, no, I'm not going to that thing, right? So if you go on a group trip and somebody sets out an itinerary for you, which is helpful, right? Then you decide what you don't want to do and what you do. I don't do group travel very much. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do, right? Forget your itinerary. So group travel is wasted on me. But it's good for some. And then for some people, it's a good gateway, right? So you start off on a group trip. You learn things about the location in a group, and then you stay there longer on your own. It's a good gateway. If you're looking to go to a place, but you're just nervous about being there alone, maybe start with a group trip and then just stay longer. Some women did that with ExodUS. We went to Mexico just 2 weeks ago, and some women 2 weekends ago, and some women stayed there. Amelia, are you here? Amelia just flew home yesterday. Right. Amelia was like, okay, it was nice meeting y'all. Okay, bye. I'm staying, right? So group travel can be a wonderful way to get started in a place. And then you stay as long as you want. No, hi, Nirel. Nirel's talking about the yellow fever vaccine. For some to bop around Africa, you need certain things. And no, you can get that yellow fever vaccine wherever. Mexico would have been a good place to get it because I'm pretty sure it's a lot cheaper in Mexico. If you need these shots to get to places, it may be worthwhile to get them in another country. Seriously, for some of y'all, it's cheaper to fly to another country and get these yellow fever. What is it? There's two that they always talk about: yellow fever and something. It may be cheaper to leave the country, get it there, get it in another third country, and then, you know, and then have it so that when you go to Africa, you have it. So that when you go to, I think West Africa, right, is where they require the yellow fever vaccine. I think that's West Africa, or maybe East. I'm not sure. I had it. I was in the army, and now I can't find my vaccination record. So I guess it's been way too long anyway. Disregard all of that. It's been way too long. I need it anyway. We've not talked about Guatemala. What are we missing? Glass half full. Sweet condensed milk is life changing. It's also, make sure panties too tight. Sweet condensed milk will also make your bra and panties too tight. Okay, so be warned. But it changes everything. I've kind of gotten back out of it. So there was a while when I was all in on sweet condensed milk, and then I just moved to heavy cream, and then moved to half and half. But now I'm back to heavy cream, whatever, because I want to live. Okay, I'm scrambling my eggs with heavy cream, and you can't stop me. Okay. Girl, it's all over the Philippines. All over the Philippines. Thank you, Patty. If you don't mind, if you're here, please take a second and hit that like button. Thank you. That tells YouTube that you liked it. And then it tells YouTube to go out and let other people know about this video. So it'll help other Black women learn about their ideal expat or career break destinations. Thank you. Yes, stack them. I'm learning this from Adelia, right? Adelia is actively working to get another residency. So she's been a resident of Mexico. Even before she went to China, she was already a resident of Mexico, and she's looking for another one. Marcia, I'm thinking of purchasing a home in South Africa. Okay, so home ownership and home purchasing in other parts of the world is not as prevalent as it is in the United States. This is not for you, Marcia, okay, or Marcia. I'm just saying this in general for anyone who thinks that you need to buy a home in another country. Probably not. Home ownership in the US is a thing. In other places, home ownership is not as big of a thing. All right, and the people who do it are mostly the people who are there to, make a profit. But you don't need to focus too much on home ownership, I don't think. I hope for all Black women that we can leave the United States and also leave the US's ways behind, okay? And part of that includes plumping yourself down in one place. Leave that behind for a while and be free. Be free. The world is yours. While that U.S. passport still has some value, before the next 2024 election, when everybody cuts us off, while we're still allowed, be free. I want that for you. I want that for you. As a person who was a free floater I've been a free floater since 2015, except for 1 year, right? Where I stayed in the U.S. I stayed in the U.S. for a year after that. I've been a free floater. I want that for you, right? So I hope that we are not just recreating our lives in our new place. That includes home ownership. Home ownership is dangerous because it can make you put roots down in a place, and we don't need roots yet. Do you need roots right now in your very first iteration of freedom, right? Right? Imagine being a college-age student. You finally graduated from college. Now you're free to do whatever and go wherever. And then right away they buy a house. A lot of college students do that. But instead, shouldn't you take some time and be free? This is you now. You're just emerging from a period of work being your focus, your home being your focus, your family being your focus. Now you get some time to be free. I want you to be free. Okay, so home ownership is a problem in that it can really cut out your freedom. Home ownership can also be a problem because of colonialism and capitalism and, right, going to another country and buying property there. There's a problem in there. There's a problem in there, especially in a place where even the locals can't afford to buy a home. And then you go in and buy a home there's a problem there. I don't know the solution, except just rent. Rent. I don't know the solution. But home ownership, friends, don't make it your first goal. Be free. I can't tell you how good it is to be free. Let yourself be free. Like, be free. Home ownership. Now, so for some of you, home ownership doesn't seem like that big of a deal. For me, I've owned 2 homes in my life. I bought my first home at 23, like an idiot, right? I've owned 2 homes in my life. Both of the times, they were just like weights around my neck, just pulling me down, dictating every action and decision in my life. At 23, you should not have a house telling you what you can and can't do. Same for you now. So for some of you are able to own a home and not feel that. But I don't think, I'm having conversations with a lot of women on this channel, I think most of you feel tethered when you own a home. Untether yourselves, okay? Untether yourselves for as long as you can. Untether yourselves. This is not financial advice. You know I don't give financial advice. Because who wants to replicate my financial decisions, right? This is not financial advice, okay? This is freedom advice. This is joy advice. This is peace of mind advice. This is ease advice. Do the easiest way. Do things the easiest way. At least for a little while. At least for a little while. This is the group travel question. I don't like to group travel with my own family. The problem with group travel with your own family when you are a traveler is that they rely on you to do everything, and they don't understand how hard that is and how much work that is and how frustrating it is, how annoying it is, how hard it is. I don't like it either. I'll be like, Mom, Connie Perry be like, we wake up, I'm like, Connie Perry, all right. So yesterday and the day before, everything we did was something that I chose, okay? This is your day. So you need to find where we're going to have dinner. You need to find what we're going to eat, right? And she'd be like, oh, but wherever you want. I'm like, girl, no, that's not helpful, okay? That's not helpful. Okay, how are we doing? Patty says they were in a high rise and still heard the music and the noise and the, yes, it's a loud country. I found out that I don't care. I found out that I don't care. Now, maybe if Mexico was a loud country and the food wasn't good, maybe I would be mad. But the food was so good and the people were so kind to me and the weather in different places was so awesome that who cares? Maybe in a different place, the noise of Mexico would have been a problem. But for me, no problem. Because actually in Curacao, so when I got to Curacao, I stayed in that first Airbnb that just echoed noise. There was nothing soft, right? Had hard floors and had like a pleather sofa and like noise just echoed in there. And I was really irritated for those few days, those first week in Curacao. It was just really loud. And it's the opposite of Mexico, right? Things were expensive and the food wasn't that great. So maybe I'm learning. It's not the noise, it's the other stuff that determines whether or not I'm okay with the noise. Maybe that's what I'm learning. Good. My season life with Mary Goff. Hey, Mary. I'm going to Bali with a group and then staying for another week. That's wonderful. Let group travel introduce you to a place and then stay as long as you feel like it, as long as you're legally allowed. As long as you're legally allowed to stay and you can afford and you feel like it. Yes. Yeah. So group travel, I'm not opposed to it. But because I am who I am, the person who has traveled as much as I have, if I do group travel, people will expect me to do all of the work. I am a person who does not do that. I don't do it. Hey, Amelia, welcome home. So I'm glad that you made it back home safely. Amelia turned a weekend in Cancun into weeks. She turned one weekend into weeks. Yes, so let group travel introduce you to a place and then just stay. Stay. All right. Yes, malaria. Yes. So those are the ones that you need. Yellow fever and malaria. If it's cheaper to get them in another country, get them in another country. Like seriously. So Mexico, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you this after the fact, but Mexico would have probably been a really good opportunity for you to get that vaccine next time. Now you know. If not, yeah. And the problem isn't only, hello, dollars and cents, personal finance, Ed. The problem isn't only the price of the vaccine in the US, but the availability. Like, can you actually get it in your place? Yeah. All right, I'm scrolling through, making sure nobody has given me their requirements for a place that I've missed. If I have missed it, because we're going to wrap it up in 2 minutes. Where do they have, Missy says, where do they have the best mangoes? Anybody have an answer to that? I've had good mangoes in a lot of places. I don't have an answer. Fruit is the kind of thing where you be like, what is the US doing? You leave the US and pineapple. So the real difference maker, the real different fruit is pineapple. You leave the US and the pineapple is so tart and it gets you all up in, that feeling. Pineapple does that in other countries. It doesn't do that. It doesn't taste like that in the US, right? We've taken all the good parts out of our fruit. Fruit is there's a big difference in fruit when you leave the US versus when you're here. All right. Erica, child, I would be having to get new clothes every season. If I had a Vietnamese coffee place right here, because they probably also do, if it's a donut shop, do they also do, what is that thing that I also like there? I don't have time to remember. But yeah, food in Vietnam in general is just amazing. I'm back in exotic Dover, Delaware. I'm headed to Raleigh, North Carolina. Oh, I was supposed to tell y'all this. I'm doing a house sit in Raleigh, North Carolina. Do y'all want to have lunch with me on February 23rd? Saturday, February 23rd. Do we want to have a brunch in Raleigh, North Carolina? Anybody here in or near Raleigh? And then I said February, July 23rd. July 23rd, Raleigh, North Carolina. Anybody want to have lunch with me? And then I'm going to Nashville, Tennessee for the next, 2 weeks. So we should probably organize a meal in Nashville. So if someone wants to find a restaurant with outdoor seating in those two places, one of those places, I would appreciate it. Okay? Thank you. All right. Yes, we're leaving this behind. We're not going to go recreate this life in another place. There's better out there, and we want to be open to that better. Hey, Alicia, we want to be open to that better. While the passport still gives you an entry, while the passport still opens doors, I'm not convinced. I know I'm not supposed to be fear-mongering up here on the internet, but after 2024, I'm not convinced that we'll still have that. Okay? We're one president away from countries being like, hell no. Y'all can't come. Y'all are not welcome. We're one president away from them being like, y'all ain't welcome here. All right? So while you get while the getting is good. Yes. Okay? I'm sorry. But I got to tell you, I got to say what I feel. I got to say what I feel. And I feel like what is it? Our relationship with other countries is tenuous at best. And we are one election away from all of this no longer being a privilege, from that passport no longer giving us those privileges. So let's use it. Ashley, in Africa, the mangoes in Tanzania are 30 cents. So that's the winner, okay? Because they're all going to taste good. But where can I get them in abundance? Tanzania? Okay, that's the winner. Sabrina, 50 plus women? Yes, a lot of places. Okay, women over 50 love Mexico. Women over 50 love Costa Rica. Women over 50 love Portugal. Women over 50 love... I can't think of any other Ecuador. Women over 50 love France. Women over 50 love everywhere. This is another question like where is it child friendly? In a lot of these places, they just treat, you're not, over 50 is not a senior, okay? But let me start anew, right? In a lot of places, they just treat seniors well, right? They treat older people well. You're not in the older people category yet, but soon enough. So if you're talking about moving someplace, I don't know that there's a place where you're going to be like, oh, they treat older people here worse than they do in the United States, right? Right? I don't know. I don't think that's something that you need to put too much consideration into. Now, some things like accessibility vary differently, vary wildly from country to country. Accessibility in one place just means that they have handles on the steps, right? They have like a, the stair, whatever, on the steps. In other places, they actually have ramps that are usable for people who have mobility concerns. So that's different. But how do they treat older people? Probably wherever you want to go, better. Oh, concentrated coconut cream is heavenly. Okay, we'll see. I'll do a scrambled eggs face off. Alicia, every country has a requirement for what you need to get residency in that country. So the answer is yes, but the answer is different in every country. In Mexico, there's a dollar figure where you can apply for temporary residency. That dollar figure is different from Portugal. It's different from Ghana. It's different from Barbados, right? So every country has a different number. If you're looking to get residency in another country, and you know that the money is going to be the thing, then start there. Start with, where can I get residency with this income? Either this online income or this amount of cash in the bank, cash or investments or whatever, or pension or retirement income or whatever. If you're a retired military veteran, you know what your income is every month. Now, where can I get residency on this amount of income? So yes, the answer is there is a money requirement. I think almost every country, unless you're getting residency based on being a family member of a citizen, right? So unless you're getting residency through marriage, or you're getting residency through lineage, like your parents were born in Jamaica, so you're going to get residency in Jamaica, right? Unless you're getting residency one of those ways, or through a job, right, which I don't talk about, right, through a job in another country, there is a requirement that you have or make a certain dollar figure. Yes. Okay. All right. I feel like I did it. There's a lot of research. Hi, Angela. I'm just getting started. There's a lot of research. I just want to find myself, reconnect with myself. I want to travel and not think about anything but getting there. First, step one, pick one place, right? Rashida and I both recently did videos on the first step, right? The first step to either moving abroad or taking a career break abroad. First step, right? Pick one place and then watch those videos. My video on my channel, Rashida's video is, her channel is Sheeta's on the Loose. Look at those videos to find the first step. Seriously. Like, it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. A lot of these women are out in the world living someplace else. It can be done. Okay? So don't let the size of the job, the size of the task get to you. Find the first step. And then what is the next step? And then what is the next step? Okay. All right. I'm just looking. Miss Nova says passports can take up to 4 months. Yeah. Get started. We all, like Black people in the United States, you need to have the ability to get out of the country. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Okay. I think also you need the ability to stay out of the country. I do. I'm laughing, but I mean it. Okay. I think, but at least first, you need the ability to get out of the country. And that is a passport. We need it. Am I a homeowner now? No, indeed. You won't see me buying a house. Believe that. Okay? It's either I live in an apartment or I own a yacht. Okay? You won't see me buying a house. I don't want it. I don't want the responsibility. Right? Rashida was talking about Mexico City buying a house, but right, but there's earthquakes and the foundation and the ground is shifting. Right? I don't want to deal with that stuff. She's not buying a house. I'm not saying she was talking about why she didn't buy in Mexico City, right? Foundation shifting and there's earthquakes and I'm not dealing with all that. Picture me trying to deal with all that stuff. No, indeed. No, you won't see that. Believe me, you won't see that. You'll see me renting or you'll see me in a yacht. Ain't no home ownership. Okay. I hope that you. Okay, so I know I've talked poorly about home ownership, but I hope you don't feel trapped. The home is also like a key to the exit, right? That's cash. It's money, one way or another. One way or another, your home is money. Whether it's you sell it, you rent it out, you just keep it there, and family lives there, and they pay you or something. It's money. You just have to find the money in it. I didn't say that in order to make you feel bad about your decisions. I've owned 2 homes. I've owned a home twice in my life. Okay. I'm talking about me, myself, personally, okay? But don't let it feel like a trap. Because when I talk to women who are like, oh no, I'm good on money, some of that is because I owned my home, right? I owned my home and it's either I'm renting it out now, getting income, or I sold it, cha-ching, right? It's not the end all be all. Yes, I'm a house sitter. Yes, I'm a house sitter, but I'm not house sitting right now. I go on a house sit. I start another house sit next week. Uh, and so I'll be house sitting probably through August, maybe. Between house sitting and going to Costa Rica. I'm going to Costa Rica. All right, so y'all love Raleigh, but none of y'all are in Raleigh. Okay, so maybe we won't do lunch. If anyone watches the replay and you're in Raleigh and you want to have lunch with me, email me, Stephanie@vicarious.com. But I'm telling you, you have to tell me where we're going. I'm not planning it, okay? All right? Find a restaurant with outdoor seating and we'll have lunch, okay? But I'm not planning it, okay? I mean that. If you're in Raleigh, holla at your girl. Saturday the 23rd is probably the best day. I'll be there 22, 23, and 24, but Saturday's probably the best day. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, Sharon. If you want to, if you're available on Saturday, email me. Okay. Please and thank you. All right. If you don't want to, you won't hurt my feelings. Okay. You won't hurt my feelings. Okay, same Jessica, email me. Okay, thank you, Sharon. We'll look for a restaurant and then Jessica email me. I'll get us together in a little chat so that we can, yes, outdoor seating. Yes, we're going to do outdoor seating. I learned my lesson, y'all. Okay, I learned my lesson. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for hanging out. Please take a second and hit the like button on this video, okay? Thank you very much for hanging out with me, for asking your questions, for answering each other's questions. There was more super chat that I didn't get to that you guys hopefully are still here. Simona, miss you, haven't been on in a while. Hi, first expat trip, October, Valencia, Spain. Valencia's been popular today. Okay, proud of you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. So this is a trip for you to scout out Spain for life, like as a place to live. That's wonderful. October's a very good time to go. October's a wonderful time to go. Wonderful. I'm so excited, Simona. Thank you for that super chat. George Woods, hello, good morning. I'm in Atlanta. What area in Mexico that's close to Atlanta? Weather. Not Merida. So all of the beach areas, except for Merida, all of like Playa del Carmen and what's it called? Cancun, over on the other side, Puerto Vallarta. All of the beach areas are going to have summertime Atlanta weather all year long. The cities like Leon and Guadalajara are going to have some Atlanta weather part of the year. Mexico City probably doesn't ever. Mexico City just had a heat wave and it was like 80 some degrees, right? So Mexico City may not be like Atlanta weather, but everyone loves Mexico City who goes there. So I would say the beaches are beaches are beaches, right? So the beaches are going to have that beach weather, and they're going to have it almost all year. And then the other cities, which are boring, okay, but they exist. Guadalajara, Leon, um, Querétaro, they have an in-between weather. Not as hot as the beaches, not as high altitude as Mexico City. Um, Again, with Mexico, you don't have to choose a place. I'm so serious. In Mexico, you don't have to choose one location. Go to Mexico, try this town, and then try that town. It's really easy and inexpensive to get from place to place within Mexico or within the entire region down into the like Costa Rica, Panama. I think I looked at a flight from Mexico City to Costa Rica was less than 2 hours, hour and a half, right? So you don't need to pick the right place in Mexico. I believe this, right? The answer can be Mexico without you knowing the town or the city. Get to one, try it, get yourself a 1 month Airbnb. If you don't like it, get to the next. You really don't need to know the right answer in Mexico. In some countries you might, right? In Costa Rica, there's not a lot of choice. There's either the city or the beaches. Yeah, and then some places, different places are very different. Are expense the cost of living is very different. Canada has a wide swing in terms of cost of living, I think. But in Mexico, you don't need to know the answer before you get there. Find one place you think you're gonna like. I mean that. Travel light. Find one place you think you're gonna like, and then try some other places. I mean that. Mexico, you don't have to decide. I'm sorry. As a person who likes boring, I enjoy Guadalajara. Guadalajara is my old faithful. Guadalajara is the place I go when I need decent cost of living and good internet, where I know I can sit down and work and be happy there. Okay? So I'm not saying it's boring as in don't go. I'm saying it's boring as in it's not Mexico City. It's not Lisbon. It's not Johannesburg. I'm sorry, Lori. It's not. I'm sorry, Lori. It's just not, okay? But it is a place that I go to frequently, right? Ever since my first visit to Guadalajara, I have been like, oh, I can't wait to go back, right? Because I know I'm going to get everything I need there. I'm going to get a good cost of living. I'm going to get good internet. I'm going to get good food. I'm going to get fine weather. I was even there during the wildfires, and it was still fine, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Did it. Okay. Thanks so much. I was thanking you all. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you again next Saturday. I hope next Saturday we'll be talking about house sitting, because I am house sitting. We'll be talking about house sitting because summertime is house sitter season, and this is a way to escape the heat dome. Okay. So if you're burning alive in Dallas, in Arizona, in New Mexico, in Oklahoma, it's time to get yourself house sitting in a cooler location. So we'll talk a little more about house sitting next Saturday. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. Whew. Thanks for making it through my sweat outbreak, my grumpy outbreak, the noise blooping, all of that. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to y'all again. Bye.